I'll be talking about robotic exoskeletons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. When we think about robotic exoskeletons, the first thing that comes to mind is this big man right here, Iron Man. A full body armor suit that elevates the natural human body to superhuman qualities. Now, the current state of robotic exoskeletons does not serve this purpose. Today, robotic exoskeletons are helping paralyzed individuals regain motion in paralyzed limbs. One individual that has been aided by this technology is Kevin Olt. Kevin Olt suffered a spinal cord injury in a snowmobile accident. The Exo GT exoskeleton that he's wearing has helped him retrain his lower limbs to learn how to walk again. And this seems like a pretty big benefit of robotic exoskeletons, learning how to walk again. But I argue that this benefit overshadows the drawbacks and the future implications of this technology. Furthermore, I believe this argument can be extended to developing technologies such as robotic limbs and machine-brain interfaces. Both technologies that could have negative implications for the future. So now for the actual presentation. First, we're going to look at the benefits of robotic exoskeletons. Specifically, how it's more superior in locomotion rehab, or helping people learn to walk again, opposed to current traditional methods of rehab. Then we're going to look at the drawbacks. Who is this technology leaving behind? And then we'll look at the negative implications for the future. So how does this technology, or how could this technology impact society? So first, the benefits. The main benefit of robotic exoskeleton rehab is that it gets the user learning to walk again in faster time than regular traditional methods. How it does this is that the robotic exoskeleton is personalized to the user. It can learn how much force a user takes to make a certain step, and then provides the user with the remaining force needed to complete the step. So here we can see Kevin Olt trying to make some steps. Kevin Olt is providing some force with his legs, with his own willpower, and the robotic exoskeleton is seeing how much force it needs to provide to support the user. What this does is that it gives the lower limbs a more natural relearning process when it comes to walking. And the effectiveness of this rehab method can be seen in that users that use robotic exoskeleton rehab can get 3,000 to 4,000 assisted steps after one session, while with traditional rehab, they can only make 5 to 8 assisted steps. And furthermore, another benefit of this technology is that it gives therapists for the first time data that they could not have access to before in traditional therapy, when they would just have to see the patient. This can really help them gauge how far along the patient is coming in the rehab process. Now, we're going to look at the drawbacks of this technology. So one obvious drawback is that this technology is pretty expensive, and that's mainly because it's being developed, and most high-tech technologies are pretty expensive in the beginning. And then this big man right here represents the drawback of this technology, that it doesn't fit all body sizes or all body types. And what I mean by this is that robotic exoskeletons are not made for quadriplegics, or individuals who are paralyzed in the upper limbs and the lower limbs. And what this means is that of the people that have spinal cord injuries, only 50% can actually access this technology to help them walk again. Furthermore, the technology does not support individuals under 5 feet in height or over 6 feet in height. Also doesn't support individuals over 200 pounds in weight. What this can mean is that certain individuals in professions such as professional athletics or construction work who might be prone to spinal cord injuries might not be able to use this technology because of size limitations. And now that we've considered the benefits and the drawbacks of the current state of robotic exoskeletons, it's important to think how this technology will impact individuals in the future. When this technology will be more widely used, how will this technology impact individuals who are unable to or unwilling to use this technology? How will this technology impact issues such as infrastructure development for disabled individuals? So let's first look at infrastructure development. The American Disabilities Act was passed 29 years ago, but noticeable progress was not made until 6 years ago. Now, some individuals also have the opinion that disabled individuals should carry their own equipment for accessing public spaces, such as for people with wheelchairs, they should carry their own ramps. And that opinion is prevalent now when there haven't been technologies such as the robotic exoskeleton really helping the disabled community as much as it could when it comes up later in time. And it's important to think just how prevalent these opinions and the stagnated progress in development of infrastructure can be when robotic exoskeletons are widely introduced in society. Furthermore, this could cause for the image of an unsuccessful disabled individual. A disabled individual who feels inferior because he or she does not use a technology such as a robotic exoskeleton to overcome their disability. And then this in turn also creates the image of a successful disabled individual, somebody who has taken advantage of this technology. And there has been fears because of this stigma that could arise around the unsuccessful disabled individual that there could be lesser individuals who will be available to assist these disabled individuals in their day-to-day lives. Individuals that are more prevalent today because robotic exoskeletons aren't widely used yet. And so, what I really found interesting in all this is that some individuals in the disabled community do not want to access this technology. But they're still being subject to this image of the disabled individual that's unsuccessful. These individuals have built communities around their disabilities. They've built a lifestyle around these disabilities. And so this brings me to my message that I want you to take away from this presentation. But before we get to that, let's just recap our presentation. First, I went through the benefits of the robotic exoskeleton. So how it's more superior to traditional methods of rehab. Then we looked at the drawbacks. Who's being left behind by this technology? And then we looked at the negative implications for the future that this technology could provide. And the main drawback and implication I want you to take away from this is that it's leaving people behind, and because of this, some certain individuals that are disabled are subject to the stigma of the unsuccessful disabled individual. And so now we get to the message. In a world where we have continuous development of promising technology, we should not forget the promise that we have to accommodate those that are unable to or unwilling to use the technology. It's not their fault that they don't want to use it or they can't. And by accommodating them, I believe we can build a world that accommodates everyone's needs.